In about 2003 or 4, I decided I wanted to make a kayak, and I stumbled upon what's called the skin-on-frame type of construction. Groups of people at that time were building, researching, and using skin-on-frame boats, and they were sharing the notes on the internet, and I spent a lot of time searching them out. This boat, which I christened Orion, was the first boat I built. Some of the ideas I borrowed freely from others, as other builders will notice, and some of it was my own design. Almost immediately, it became apparent that my original idea of using epoxy and screws was not going to work. After all these centuries, lashing is still probably the best way to join everything together. The lashing I used is artificial sinew, small fibers of nylon coated in beeswax, and commonly used by leather workers. It's very slippery stuff, and if you don't tie it just right, the knot will slide right off the end of the string. The tighter you pull it, the more it stretches, and it really binds the two pieces of wood together. My knot tying has gotten prettier over the years, but even so, the lashing here was incredibly strong. Although there were plans available for this type of construction at the time that I made this, I decided I wanted to figure it out myself, so I spent a lot of time calculating the frame sizes, which wouldn't be the first time or the last time that I did things the hard way. For the skin, I used raw uncoated nylon. It's very tough, and after wetting it down and using a clothes iron to dry it out, it shrinks drum tight. A few coats of oil-based polyurethane floor paint makes it watertight and gives an amber cast to it, which gives the skin a kind of a rawhide look. As I remember, it wasn't until a launch date was actually looking like it was going to happen that I began to realize that I needed a way to get the boat to the water, so I quickly made a set of racks. And oh yeah, a paddle would be kind of useful too. Finally, on a somewhat cold and breezy day, I got it down to the water. I didn't have any of my safety gear yet, so I stayed close to shore, but it was thrilling to finally be out in the water in a boat that I had built myself. Other accessories came later, like a rudder, here taken from Nick Shade's strip building kayak book. And of course, I finally got that safety gear. And that's how I got hooked on boat building. My friend John paddled this one away for the cost of materials, and I was off building my next boat. These boats are a lot stronger than you might think, and the flexibility of the craft make it feel almost alive. These boats can be quite cheap to build, and I've seen people on the internet making them in their apartments, so if you feel like this might be for you, it can be done.